Good morning and welcome to the RangerRob Country Living channel. Yes, sirree, Bob. And yes, there's two things that are most important of all today. First of all, it's a sparkling day in Central Oregon today. And it's a sunshine day.
I think I'll go for a walk outside now. The summer sun's calling my name. I hear you now, I just can't stay inside all day. I gotta get out, get me some of those rays. Everybody's smiling, sunshine day.
Well guys, it's such a beautiful day. Pigs are over there yelling at me. The whole works. But it's a beautiful day. A little hint of spring makes you feel really good. But what I want to talk about is how we in Central Oregon can fight this inflation, fight this increase in cost of things, not only food but services, fuel, the whole works. What can we do to make it better and not give up everything? And so I want to talk about some of that stuff. So I'm very fortunate, I agree, that we have 5 acres. But a lot of people have nice little backyards. And the reason I can say what you can do in your little backyard is before I had this, I had a typical little house in Mesa, Arizona. Not a big yard at all. And we were killing it with food. We were killing it with growing stuff. That took a little while to learn how to grow in Arizona, but once we got it, we're killing it. We made some above ground gardens like that, put in some water systems, learned how the seasons worked, and we grew some really good food. Did we grow all of our food? No. But so here's what we're doing to get over this pain. One is, well, there's a few things. Sherry and I have, we got a big truck. And so fuel is a big factor for us too. So Sherry has changed, we're fortunate, changed to our smaller car. Instead of a life of luxury, you might say, you just kind of step it down a little bit and go with the most practical vehicle. So she started driving the Mazda 3. I take the RAV now more often into town to get some of our supplies instead of my big old truck. The bad part about that, the dogs often have to stay home because I don't let the dogs ride in the RAV4. But the other thing is we have a grocery store called Oliver Lemons, and it's a little more pricey, but if you do the math, and let's say I'm in my truck or a car and I've got to go to the other end of a town, which is ours is called Redmond, to go to Safeway or something, if I start measuring how much it costs me in fuel, it makes more sense to me to go to the local grocery store and buy my odds and ends there instead of going all the way to Redmond, which is, 20 miles one way. So we changed some little things. And then some of the other things we changed was we used to always go out, we call it date night, but and go out to dinner. And we still do that occasionally. I'm not saying give it all up, but we knocked off maybe every other week. That's $20 to $40 for Sherry and I not to eat out. And by the way, some of the things I've been cooking instead of going out, been killing it. Just killing it. So it's like, wow, I'll make something really good. Sauteed scallops or something. And anyway, and it's still a fraction of what it cost me to go eat out. And Sherry and I like to go to a casino once in a while. Maybe once a month or something like that. Well, now it's every other month, or maybe every 3 months. Big savings there. you know, those places you don't usually win. It's just fun to get out. So just knocking those things off, just with those things, has made the inflation less painful. There's a lot of things we do because we've been very fortunate as Americans that we just don't really have to be doing. And yes, I've heard of people giving up their vacations or changing their vacations. Gosh. And if I had kids and had this going here, we'd really be killing it. And it'd be better for my kids. And it'd be more things done together. But I think it would really make a family grow, to help grow food for your family and understand where things come from. But here's the next thing. Most likely, you'll never totally be off grid. I mean, you can do it. People are doing it. But, you know, you got to have water and electricity and things like that. And in this day and age, you don't have to live like that if you don't want to. But you can still back it down or eliminate some of the resources you're using. Maybe you don't need natural gas. Maybe you have your own water. Maybe you can use less electricity by using solar. But the next thing I want to talk about is in Central Oregon, in any place you live, Washington, Oregon, California, New York, wherever, there's some little things now available to you that can allow you to grow immense food. Now, mark my words, we're just in spring. We're just finally getting some sunshine. Some places like North Carolina, they're ahead of us, weather-wise. But right now, we're still in cleanup from last year. But if you look at our videos from last year, just go into our library and look at last year's. This was lush green corn. And this hydroponics, which is amazing, totally amazing, which is your solution to the people with small yards. I'll show you some things that will just, and if you look at our history, things you can do with hydroponics can allow you to grow all kinds of food. This hydroponic, which is called an NFT, grew, oh my gosh, I had some Swiss chard that just like look like elephant ears. And we've done spinach, lettuce, we've done some peppers on here. All kinds of things will grow on NFT. It's just one form of hydroponics. And even our corn, we did hydroponics. We let it grow in the ground, but you see all these little watering things? There's a tank over there that we were able to feed nutrients to the corn, and it really allowed it to grow really well. And you can do fish emulsion, anything you want. And so this was incredible. And so over here I actually have two NFTs. I have another NFT that's lower to the ground, which we're working on things right now. And you have to use your imagination a little bit. And it has a trellis that goes along. So we killed it with peppers. We killed it with beans. We killed it with all kinds. I mean, we just had things growing like crazy. Peppers were amazing on here. And yeah, so hydroponics can take up a very small amount of space, use less water, and easy to maintain in a garage, your backyard. You don't have to have a system this long. You can design these in any way you want. And what I'm trying to show you is there's ways to grow food. You don't need 5 acres. And you could do a chicken or two in your yard. A lot of cities are letting people have chickens as long as like they're hens and maybe no more than 4 or 5. Hey, if you're able to get 4 or 5 eggs a day, that's a lot of dang eggs. These guys produce 8 to 10 a day. That's way more eggs than we need. And if you don't have chickens or don't want chickens, find somebody that does have chickens. Do a little co-op with them. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do all this. Another thing you can do, depending on your region, is build your own greenhouse. Don't buy a kit, just do something you can build. It doesn't have to be this big either. And you can actually buy little kits if you had to, and put together a little greenhouse, which will allow you to start growing earlier in some cases, and grow later in some cases, to extend your season a little bit if you need it. Arizona, you wouldn't need it so much unless you're trying to avoid the hot weather and can cool it down. But here it's like, it's 93 degrees in here. It's only 60 outside. I haven't done a thing. And look at, we have another form of hydroponics. We have what's called Dutch buckets. Beto buckets is another name for it. We have floating rafts, which are just, you can see, are already started. And we have spinach and lettuce started on here. And you can do this in your house in a small scale and have lettuce available to you all the time. Hey, lettuce is getting up to $4 a head. That'll add up really quick if you like salads. You can save some money. And all this is doing is sitting on a floating just water, well, nutrients, and it's very little water I have to add to this. And even the Dutch buckets, I just run the water from here. Now when I get the plants bigger in here, which will all be tomatoes, then I got to keep adding water to this, but nothing like what you would do if they were outside. A very fractional amount of water. And what I'm trying to show you is, just because we have 5 acres, we're trying to show you, you don't need 5 acres. You can do this in a city lot. Will you eliminate all the things you buy at a grocery store? No. And if you want your own pigs, or you want your own cow, you'll find just outside of your regions that there's farmers that you can do things with that will let you buy a quarter of a cow, or a half a cow, or a whole cow. In fact, even here on Crooked River Ranch, if someone approached me and said, I like a 100 by 100 foot garden, or a 50 by 50 garden, can I use some of your land? Can we make an arrangement, maybe lease it for $50 a month, maybe give us some of the produce from whatever you grow? I would supply them with the water and the land to do it. What would other farmers do? They pay in a bigger scale, maybe let you do some permaculture. So I want to talk about permaculture. Here's another way to grow food. Imagine this, your porch in your apartment. You can actually make these towers with a nutrient tank below it and circulate the water, and only add water as the nutrients go down, and make a killing on lettuce, strawberries, all kinds of food that you enjoy. Down at the bottom, since this one doesn't return, we grow carrots and we grow radishes at the bottom. Very little cost, takes up very little space. But another problem that's coming up in our society is fertilizer. In a way that we grow things in a big scale, we're really dependent on it. And I think a lot of big scale operations are going to have to change their ways and go back to permaculture. What's permaculture? Well, instead of my growing above ground garden, I'm loading it up with a 16-16-16 fertilizer and worm castings, all that. But you know, if I had, well, I do. What if I had pig poop? What if I had a couple of rabbits that, yeah, I don't have to eat the rabbits, I'll just take their poop, put it in my gardens. Maybe I have a little goat or a llama or something that you want as a pet. And just use their poop in your garden. Why pay for all those fertilizer when you can get it naturally and have the enjoyment of having a pet? You can't use, you don't want to use your dog or anything like that, but there's some animals that produce a really good fertilizer that you could use right away. Chickens, the chicken poop, that's good, but you need to let it set because it's kind of acidy. You have to give it a few months to kind of calm down. But a killer makes a great fertilizer. And if we could get our farmers to change their ways a little bit, rotate their crops, and let animals fertilize their property and their soil, they could increase the quality of their soil without putting all these fertilizers in it. So what I'm telling you is, in a small scale like I'm doing, which is maybe a larger scale than somebody with a smaller property, can make a difference in your food bill. You can take the pride of growing things yourself. Get your kids involved. Let them know where their food comes from. When it comes to meat and stuff, work with other farmers. Do a co-op. Get online. You'll be amazed. And yes, this is all modern. You can get online and have meat shipped to you and get quality meat and help local farmers. You don't have to do this. But there's certain parts of it where you can make a killing on some of your food, reduce your expenses, and turn it into an educational thing for your kids. And at the same time, return to Eden kind of thing here is learning how to manage our land, our soil, and instead of damaging things all the time, we learn how to add and make our soil better. So there's some ideas to get over your inflation and changing your ways a little bit, changing your entertainment a little bit, grow some food, find a way that works good for you, above ground gardens, hydroponics, a little greenhouse, towers. There's some choices right there. I'm doing it. I'm older than most of you. I can do this. You can do this. So guys, it's a mindset. Don't let all this get under your skin. Don't be angry. Don't live in fear. Make changes and fight back. This is the future. Learning how to grow our own food, having your own garden, working with the community. Get other people involved. Work with farmers, local farmers, and you'll be helping the local area. So I see nothing but solutions here. So guys, just an idea. What do you think? Have a great day. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. And yes, grow something. Fight back. And enjoy a sunshine day.
Everybody's smiling, sunshine day. Everybody's laughing, sunshine day. Everybody seems so happy today. It's a sunshine day.
Our videos are made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available at Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.